Again?
No more
oil money. So what happened? What you doing? You're conserving now? Well, drink cheap. Drink cheap. You ain't had to drink expensive. You could drink cheap. You know what I mean? Buy some beer rum. You know what I mean? You ain't had to buy Fernandez. You could buy beer rum. You know what I mean? Drink cheap. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And what the Lord say? And the Lord say we're going to drink poison and live? You know what I mean? Man, don't worry about it. Oil ain't everything. There's life without oil, you know what I mean? Go ask Grenada, you know what I mean? You get some spices, you know, sell some nutmeg, you know what I mean? Some ginger root, you know what I mean? There's life without oil. You thought the oil was going to last forever? You know what I mean? I feel for it. I feel for y'all. Like, I feel for y'all. Ain't no sweat. It has happened. Yeah, I mean, it has happened. So what's the latest down there now? Everybody's still in independence. How was the Independence Day, first of all?
So I don't have a clue. All right.
Hey, I gotta want to thought we had honest men in the house. I thought you told me this group of brothers did not have no guile in them. Yeah. I could go on Trinidad right now. Trinidad.com right now, if it's still around, and find Taza War in Tobago, you know, with star on the head, and drinking a ton of stag, a case of stag, and about two foreign thing next to it. Taza War talking about the island and way. Girl, and more girl. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's an interesting thing to see and hear, you know what I mean? Like so what was everybody's vibe? What was the vibe in the country for this weekend? Usually they have parties and, you know, everybody is a festive time. But of course after this week shake up a lot of households. You know what I mean? What was the vibe? Go ahead. Say again?
But start as I really don't know.
Come on, man. Give me the full rundown, man.
Yeah.
What was people who, you know, was it the usual thing, or is people starting to get worried now? Okay, I don't know if you're seeing it from a spiritual eye. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get to your questions. You all have any questions in the room? All right, I'm gonna get to the questions in a second. All right. Just again.
Yeah, no, the vibes for this weekend. Right? People still partying and stuff, but there was also talking about what would they do on the 7th of September.
And what's supposed to happen on the 7th?
Well, Hansel Roger, union leader of the All Workers Trade Union, they had a joint trade union meeting, and he told them that everybody should shut down the country on the 7th of September.
Okay.
So all the unions was in support with him, and all the unions went to the other workers and tell them they should shut down the country. Right? So people have two minds. People saying the money that these people will home with, they comfortable for 5 years. So they say I ain't shutting down the country.
How much money they talking about sending people home with?
I don't know. We wouldn't know. I don't know. But I guess
Who's that? Your card?
Council.
Go ahead.
They haven't even brought anything to the table.
Did I
just anyway.
Just in the United States. So more than likely, they ain't going, you know, they ain't going to get nobody nothing. More than likely, ain't nobody going to be getting nothing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, and based on what I caught on the news, right? The city, the payout to pay out the workers would cost over $1 billion. So the two minds about it.
It'll cost over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Million or billion?
Billion with a B.
$1 billion, right?
Yeah, kind of God.
All right. Okay. So $1 billion to pay everybody to go home. And what they're saying is too much. They're acting like it's too much. Say again? Go ahead.
Kind of one can't say the government didn't make no agreement as yet if they want to proceed to pay the $1 billion.
So that $1 billion is what the I'm guessing that's what the union is coming up with. Nah?
Like yes, sir.
Go ahead. Come on. You're fill me in.
Yeah, based on the ground.
Based on what?
Is more based on what we hear on the media on the ground. From my interaction. It's more ESA than anything. There's a lot of misinformation hanging around.
Right.
A kind of fear mongering kind of thing mixed with kind of pitting the country between oil workers and the regular man.
I got you.
So like,
right. Go ahead.
So like yes,
go ahead.
Days away, about 3 years or that horses, like yes, right? And just about 3 years ago, something like that. I think Israel can, right? Who was at the council meeting with the Prime Minister?
Say it one more time. You're going a little too fast. Say it one more time.
Yes, sir. Right, Israel can. Right, was in the meeting with the Prime Minister and Ansel Roche, right? And they were saying later on about 3 minutes, he was releasing 3 hours, 3 days ago. He was releasing in the press that they were going to offer them severance packages and for the early retirement packages for the people, the workers who are permanent workers then, who reach the age of 50 and 55. They will give them early retirement, and the others they will give them severance packages like biceps then. So they were saying that loud and they were saying that on the news. You know, but that's not in the news. But now when time to come to pay the money now, there's a stop and build story.
But who is Israel Khan?
The lawyer for the question basically, sir.
He's the legal counsel for Petra.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. Okay, so just you know, just for everybody who coming up who may not know or up to speed, Trinidad Tobago is a very oil and gas rich country, or was oil and gas rich. If depends on how you look at it, depends on your perspective. At one time, I guess we were one of the largest producers worldwide. At one time, then it went down to the largest producers on the Western Hemisphere, and of course, you know, it keep dropping, but it is. For its size, it produces, you know, significant amounts of oil. Over the years, the oil production has dropped. Right? Over the years, the oil production has dropped. Now there's a move. I try to put it in a nutshell before we dive all the way into it, for everybody who's watching, so everybody could follow, right? Now there's a move to throttle back all the way or make cuts based on what they say, what the government says, and the Ministry of Finance says is due to budgeting and financial restraints, that the oil refinery that there was two major oil refineries in Trinidad that would operate, one in you could say central Trinidad or central south, and then one totally in south. These oil refineries at one time were at full capacity and would refine the oil, which that would increase the country's GDP or gross domestic product, because now you're not just producing raw oil, but you also produce fractions of the oil. You know, whether it's, car oil, gasoline, kerosene, different oil and oil byproducts. You get the point? So now it adds value to the whole operation, because it's just like, imagine you're a farmer and you raise cattle, right? You're a cattle herder, right? You have 100 head of cow or 1,000 head of cow. Or imagine all you do is just raise the cows and sell the cows, right? That's all you do. You do nothing else. You just rear the cows up and you sell the cows. A man who has a slaughterhouse on his farm. Now, a man who has a slaughterhouse on his farm, he could make more money, because now you had to pay him to kill the cow, clean the cow, cut the cow up. And now, guess what else comes from him killing the cow and skinning the cow and cleaning the cow? What else comes? What else is marketable? What else could be sold? Huh?
Black acid.
Come on, quickly. Come on with it.
Black acid.
Go ahead.
You will have the hide of the animal, the skin, etc.
Yes. Right? Cowhide is what? What is cowhide called?
So like acid, leather.
Leather. So you know you have a whole leather industry that's attached to your farm. You get the point? You ain't just growing cows, but you making leather. You ain't just growing cows, you providing meat. You get the point? The horns. There's a whole industry for those things. I mentioned before Captain Zakar in New York a couple cookouts ago. I see he come and sit next to him. I see him drinking out of something. Flask. That is a cow hoof. It's a full out hoof. But okay, it's the skin. Imagine the hoof, the heat. The hard part, the heel, and then the skin is still attached to the hard part. And you could put a bottle in it and close it up at the top, so it's looking like a full-out cow foot. I mean, the shit look fly as hell to me. I was like, God damn, where you get this shit? But there's an industry for that. You get what I'm saying? There's a whole industry for that. Go ahead, Gabar.
Shalom, first of all. And they also use the hoof for glue.
See what I'm saying? I didn't even know that. They also use the hoof for glue. Right? So now there's a whole industry if you can provide byproducts from your raw material. That's in anything. In anything, you could now multiply your work by providing byproducts for your raw material. And at one time, Trinidad was operating on that level. We were producing a whole ton of oil. And with the refineries and the what they call it, is it not the cat cracker? Is it cat cracker? That's what they call it, your card? Right, the cat cracker, which is like a huge fraction in column. Those are y'all who ever stay awake in chemistry in school. That wasn't my strong point, actually. I feel every chemistry class I nearly passed most of it. But I do remember the fraction in column, because I broke a few of them instruments just not caring. And it's the same thing they do with it. They provide, they heat up, they pass the oil through tubes and columns and at tremendous heat. And of course, heat has the effect on most liquids or fluids. Most liquids, it'll turn it into gas at different temperatures. And of course, they heat it up, turns into gas, and then they cool it. And as they cool it and it condenses at different temperatures, you get different things. right? At a certain temperature, it could cool and get oil. It could cool and get kerosene, gasoline, whatever. All right. And now you have different byproducts that you can sell in a whole market downstream. And of course, Trinidad, even though still producing so much oil, is still considered a third world country. So the currency, when compared to European nations, is less. So even though we're making all these byproducts, it's still cheaper for them to buy our byproducts than to buy the oil from us raw and make it themselves. You get the point? Because the exchange rate with US is what, 6-1 now?
7.
Just about 6-1. The pound, the British pound is what, almost $10, $11 to 1? Right, something like that. So imagine, you know, how much ever it costs in Trinidad to produce all those things. It's still 10 times cheaper if they would buy it here. Oh, Slack, you're here, there, you know what I mean? I'm there in spirit, so here is there. It's much cheaper for them to buy it in Trinidad versus buying just the oil as a raw product and then converting it in their country where they'll pay 10 times more to do it because of the 10-1 rate. You get what I'm saying? So at that time, Trinidad was, you know, niggas was happy, boy. Oil boom, oil money. Once again, we go back to the same class we did with the 1990 coup. You understand? Because the money was so good, then they took a dip in the economy because the world price of oil dropped. You remember that? So you know, you have all those factors in there. All right, you have all those factors in there. So now, okay, let's go back. Let's go back and look at a bit of the history with the oil. Now, first off, if you're looking with a spiritual eye, right, what's very significant about the past month in Trinidad? Go ahead, Tasso.
There was supposed to be 2 points in our history where so-called African people or so-called Negro people was emancipated or liberal, their so-called independence.
All right. So you had emancipation on August 1st. Last Friday, August 31st, was Trinidad's so-called Independence Day. Right? Make sense? But there's something else. There's two more things that, you know, you had to really look at the thing on a spiritual eye. You definitely had to see what's going on for what it is. And this is in conjunction with most things going on in the world climate today. Anybody knows? Anybody picking up on it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Let me try to that's all again, sir. The continual separation of our culture, of us and our culture, so the blinding again or the push to separate us from our culture and who we are, our identity as a people. So.
Not so much, because that ain't really come up in there. All right. Anybody else want to try? Who's that? Your card?
Continued oppression, sir.
Okay, the oppression was always there. They never really changed, to be honest. Anybody else? Real significant. Yeah, any sisters, no sisters, y'all picking up on it? What was significant about the past? There was some events that happened in the past month in Trinidad. Come on. Go ahead.
People say feeling Africans in the country.
Okay, it's always that. That's, you know, that get reinforced with Black Panther, but it's always that. All right, I'm gonna give it to y'all if y'all ain't, you know, if y'all ain't catching up on it. All right. Your sisters, y'all know y'all could raise your hand and ask questions too. I hope y'all didn't tell me when you go in there and just shut your mouth and stay quiet before I knock your teeth out. All right. You had the earthquake that was potentially devastating to the country. And what, just a week later, arguably the biggest public sector or the biggest employer or the biggest contributor financially, not just to the country, but to people because of the employment and the livelihood and the different industries that surround the oil industry. You get hit with a damn, hammer about they're going to close down the 2 refineries, not just one. They're going to close down the 2 refineries. They're going to fire everybody. And for the remaining offshore oil exploration part of the industry, they're going to rehire people for that. But not only that, they are considering getting an outside European country to come back to manage the oil industry. That is very, very significant, Aki. That is very, very significant. Now imagine give me an estimate. How much people, even if it's a low ball figure, how many people we talking about being laid off?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
On the Petrotrin side, is approximately 3,500 permanent workers. Permanent workers.
Right? No, Petrotrin, for those of you who don't know, Petrotrin, formerly Trinidad, was changed to Petrotrin. This is the company that really dealt with the refinery aspect of the oil. The exploration was dealt with Trinidad, even though on land, Petrotrin had some oil wells, but the land oil wells didn't use as much as the offshore oil wells, right? Years ago, they were 2 separate entities. Years ago, all right? Because of the decline in the oil production, the refineries didn't operate optimally. And I would say maybe 15 years ago, the argument came up of closing down the oil and the refinery. But of course, politics came into place. I believe back then, the East Indian Party, the UNC, was in power, and Petrotrin was largely East Indian. So they made a merger between Petrotrin and Trinidad, which Trinidad is the offshore oil exploration company. And that's the company that was really producing a lot of oil. They were self-sufficient. They didn't need any partnering. But of course, the profits from Trinidad would absorb the senseless cost of running Petrotrin. So, because they didn't really want to shut everything down at then. So they put the 2 companies together to keep Petrotrin alive. You get the point? 15 years later, the company is hemorrhaging money. Ton of debt. I don't understand how they get into so much debt. But of course, being a third world country, corruption, this, that, the other. Now, there is oil and there's a ton of gas still in the country, right? There is oil. There's a future in the oil industry. It's not dead. That's a myth. It's not dead. You get the point? Now, for some reason, they decided now to shut down the refinery part. Now, me personally, I ain't totally sold on that. I'm expecting the next 2 months to be very interesting in the country. Very, very interesting. Right? I believe politics is involved, as it always is. Right? So now this is where we're at. We're talking about 3,500 permanent workers on the Petrotrin side. Give me an estimate of the Trinidad operates, some of the companies operate on a permanent casual basis where you have permanent workers who are legit 40 hours workers, get, insurance, Medicaid, stuff like that. Then you have casual or temporary workers who come in on assignment where, let's say, you have an office and the office, to run the office is 10 people. You might hire 6 people permanent and keep 4 spaces open for casual people where there's a continuous flow of employment for younger people coming out of school, more older people who may not have qualifications to operate on a permanent level, but they go on a list and it rotates. So you might get 2 weeks into this company working here, then your 2 weeks is over, another person get 2 weeks. So imagine they fill in them 4 spaces 2 weeks at a time with different people. And in between, if any one of the permanent workers take holidays or sick days, they just go down a list of the casual employees and they call you out to work. And you get the same hourly rate of pay. You just don't get the benefits associated. And you know, as a casual worker, sometimes it's better because you get a bigger check. But of course, you're responsible for yourself medically. That's the downside. So now you have the permanent force and you have a casual force. About how big the casual force is for Petrotrin, your car?
So like I said, it's estimated between 1,500 to 2,000.
Right, so we're talking about 5,000 people. Now, to the average American, that sounds little, right? But you gotta understand Trinidad is a country that's just 1 million people. 1 million people, and we're talking about 5,000 on one side. On the other side, Trinidad is what? How many?
Like I said, Trinidad and Petrotrin,
no,
average would be out.
Just Trinidad. You said Petrotrin, the permanent workers was 3,500. Casual was about $2,000. So let's say 5,000 people on Petrotrin side, right?
So like,
go ahead.
That would include Trinidad as well.
Okay, so how many is the Trinidad workers?
Approximately between 12 to 1,500 Trinidad workers.
We're looking at 7,000 Trinidad workers, right? Just around that, correct?
Awesome.
Come on, explain it, break it down.
In the entire Petrotrin organization, including Trinidad, about 3,500 permanent employees.
Okay.
1,500 to 2,000 casuals.
Okay, so let's say 5,000 people
in the entire
in the Trinidad attached to Trinidad. No, Trinidad. No, you all right? So check it out. Give her a hand. Somebody give her a hand if she needs it. All right, give her a hand if she needs a hand. All right. So now, added to that, you have contractors, right? A lot of the operations is what? Offshore. You have a whole boating industry, captains and sailors, right? You have the welders. You have deep sea divers. You have the police, the Coast Guard, who guarding them, the waters. You have the other companies, well, services that's not attached to Trinidad, that's going to be affected by it. You understand what I'm saying? So really, if you're looking at it, we're talking about 10 to 12,000 people directly affected. That's individuals. Now, those 10 to 12,000 people have families. Let's say an average of 4, right? This ain't America where the average person have 2.5 children. That's what they say. The average American family got 2.5 children, right? Well, this is the Caribbean where, it's a little bit different. Where, the average person have about 4 kids, right? You so have a chance. He rebuilt the whole 12 tribes by himself, right? So you just repopulate the whole earth. As fast as he had on the flyer and they reject the flyer, he's like, no sweat. Come on, baby, let's get it going. Big. If you can't fish them, we'll make them. So now you have maybe 10 to 12,000 people directly affected. Multiply that by 4, we're talking, it really affecting damn near 40, 50,000 people. You get what I'm saying? You understand? Something like this. Now, imagine we talking about their incomes being affected. Outside of their incomes, that's a large section of the economy that's being affected. For those people who would buy groceries, buy gas, fix their cars, they would spend money. They can't spend the money no more. You get the point? No, added to that, if the refineries are done, where is the gas coming from? That the petrol, the gasoline that goes in your car, where's the diesel coming from? You understand? No, you have to do what? You have to import a byproduct that you making raw in your home. You understand?
So like it, sir.
Come on, Shakan.
So you're saying basically like the gas coming from a foreign place then, like from some place in the east?
I don't know where it's gonna come from, but the point is, it's I don't think as far east because, of course, the cost won't be ridiculous. Venezuela is right next door. Venezuela is, one of the top 5. You get me? So you now imagine you making oil, exporting oil, but you have to import gasoline. Now, all the costs that you could have, avoided by properly managing your oil industry and in your investments and not stealing the money, now you had to pay all that cost back when the oil that you sending away, that same oil comes back as gasoline and diesel. And now the price is going to be, of course, higher because now you have the boat captain who's sailing that big barge in with the gasoline. You had to pay all them people who working in foreign refineries. So now all that cost gets passed down to who? Because the average citizen. Now, when gas goes up, what happens? Who's that there? Tazawa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chaos, but additionally, sir, even what they did is they were saying that petroleum, because of the size of the grounds, they're thinking about bunkering. So which means when they bring it from Venezuela, now you have an added cost of logistics and all coming out of the country into foreign pockets again on top of that. So when people see this and the price are high, price of gas is high, that's going to cause a lot of mental instability and going to frustrate people.
Okay, but before we get to mental instability, it's going to cause something else. It's directly going to cause something else, even if they don't want to. Who hold on. I think Mike had his hand up.
It would directly affect the cost of living, sir.
Explain. Break it down, Michael. Give me a little bit more.
Well, because the gas now being imported into the country, right? Transportation could be more expensive. Therefore, companies could charge more to deliver food stuff and clothing and stuff like that. And the general average citizen got to pay more for all the products brought in by these companies.
Everything goes up. You're absolutely right, Makwa. Go ahead. You was going to say something else? Everything increases. The price of your jeans going up. The price of rice. The price of cooking oil. The price of flour. Because even if to make those things are cheap, to get the flour from the farm or from flour mills to your store, the price of that transport goes up. Once gas goes up, gas is one of those things, I forget what kind of commodity they call it, but it's one of those commodities that the price of it affects everything else. Gas is one, flour is one, right? The price of those things, they affect everything else. Now, that's what Trinidad is facing, right? That's what the country is facing. So that is important after a weekend like this weekend. Why is that important?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
So to show that we're not independent and nothing, so we are very dependent on the heathens and all these other people and them to supply every need that we have.
I'll take that. Anybody else? Anybody else want to chime in? Bayat in the room? Y'all don't know Bayat is a negotiator. You understand? Bayat is an oil negotiator. Bayat probably have a golden bell in the house, ringing the bell for everybody. Right? Bayat know the ins and outs and the ups and downs of this whole thing right here because he's a former union man. Well, I don't know if he still is, but shit, I already know the brother bad with the whole negotiation. He know exactly what's going on with them fools right there. Right? Thank the Lord for the truth, because Bayat would have been up in town with them big heads trying to rob the country. Right? Thank the Lord for the truth. If it wasn't for the truth, Bayat would have been up in town cutting a deal right now to rob the country. So now, go ahead, Bayat. What you was going to say? No, I was saying that after this week, And this weekend was Trinidad's so-called Independence Day, 56 years, I believe, right? 56 years of being independent. Why is this whole thing significant with respect to that?
Basically, one of the things that I noticed is political move basically put money in people's pockets, in the so-called 1%, and the other heathens that come underneath them, and the destruction of the family. The family in terms of getting better wages, getting taken away privileges of the petroleum workers on them, and it have a spin-off effect, because with the more people who have mortgages to pay, that would be on the streets. Some of them might be pulling about the family now, and the economy, things already hard, is concerned. So it's more people who will be looking for work and who are in. So that is one of the things that I see with the whole situation.
Exactly. It's which is, you know, based on exactly what Mike was saying up front. You know what I mean? And Tazwa was saying, no, it's going to affect so much of the economy of Trinidad. It's damn near going to destabilize the place, if not temporarily, permanently. And when I say permanently, even if the economy is repaired, there's still ripple effects that last. You get the point? Because just think about, if you can imagine going into debt, like falling in a hole. You could get out the hole, you could survive the fall, but the problem is getting out of the hole. And even if the economy is quote unquote repaired, there's still people who will have to dig themselves out of a hole. Get me? Come on, quickly.
The persons who would be most likely affected during this whole situation is Israelites.
Break it down. That's where I'm trying to get to. Break it down.
Because Israel is so scattered, and we have no resources, we have no community, we have no businesses, no togetherness, and the other heathens have come together, and they also have control of all the commodities, the businesses, banking sector, you name it. Israel has no way to buffer that.
Exactly.
We don't have.
That's the end all and be all of it. Now you're gonna see where race really lies in the country. Now you're gonna see. Take away the oil that everybody had a little bit, you know, had their hands in the pot a little bit and was still eating. Take that away and let's see what happens to the Chinese industry or the Chinese community, the African community, the East Indian community, and then blacks and Hispanics. Let's see what really happens. The Chinese and the Indians own all the grocery stores. From Peepin to Cali Charan. What's the other one? The Muslim one up in Princess Bell. Uncle Khaled, supermarket, Fasad, Bhagwan Singh Hardware. You understand? The gas companies. When I say gas companies, gas stations. That means all the gas stations is East Indian owned. The Chinese restaurants. Indians running the banks. Indians and the Syrians running the banks. There's no Israelite doctor in the country. You know what I mean? There's not even a damn near Israelite vet. Even your dog can't get seen by Israelite. You get sick, you gotta go see Dr. Singh, Dr. Timor, Dr. Ram Logan, Dr. Ching, right? Dr. Alihuwehu from Nigeria. There's nothing. Now, when the economy gets tight and the money is tight, who do you think they're gonna see about first? If medicine is short and getting medicine is more expensive, who you think they're going to make sure gets treated before everybody else? You think you?
Salakia, sir.
Think you? Shit.
The devil.
Star Bayat Makar, you're short. Your card Tazawar and Sawap. So they have a little brown paper bag skin. They might be able to get away. You know what I mean? The pour on something looking a little East Indian, they might be able to get away as, you know, we ain't sure you is. But shit, everybody else, nigga, you break your hand, you done. You get the point? It's that bad. It's going to be that bad. Somebody had their hands up?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Maka.
Our district, on a side note, in terms of the persons being affected, I'll just touching on that, and also something else. You have a lot of vendors, street vendors, canteen vendors, and so forth, right, on a large scale.
Right.
They affect heavily. And also, they have, based on that information I was getting, the pension plan for all the permanent workers is an estimated $9 billion.
Good.
That is also a strategy for the elite to dissolve the pension plan, so they will have that money in pocket.
$9 billion. And okay, brother, okay, the amount of money, okay, this is okay. If you could focus on the truth during this time, you're gonna see how valuable the truth is. Because all these figures is floating around. If you in the world and you know you live in check to check, you put away a little bit of money because you know Trinidad money tall, so you're gonna be sitting on a little cushion. But boy, you hearing all of this and seeing the future, you're going to get sick. You understand? You're gonna be like, God damn, what I go do? You're gonna start to drink heavy. You're not more arguing in your household now because the money's short. He's gonna be hiding money to go buy them carnival costumes, them ugly carnival costumes that cost $5,000. She's gonna be hiding the money, and when you find out, you know, you're gonna see her teeth with some other man. It's going to be hard on most people. It's a beautiful time to be in the truth in Trinidad. I like to tell it to you. Lord, I got to thank the Lord for you, brother. I thank the Lord the minute you contact the school. Listen, listen. In a year, Trinidad get hit with the worst earthquake in 100 years, and then the next week, the country said they're gonna shut down the oil. What the hell is he doing, The Lord moving on the country, It's Galawan fall. It's a beautiful thing, because now the separation could happen. I know some of my brothers is employed with Trinidad. I understand. I used to work there a long time ago. I know how looking at that fat check feel. You know what I mean? I know it was. Listen, I used to work in that company. I tell the brothers all the time. I had a bank account, but I never used to do direct deposit. I like to go in the bank and get that wad over the damn counter. Listen, that Trinidad check. I don't know if you ever felt money that had weight. It's heavy, That oil money, that money tall, That money tall. In them areas where you had the oil refinery and the offshore oil exploration, you go down in a bar on payday. Brothers buying beers by the case, not things. Or not, how much men sitting at the table. Bring another case. The money is so good. Now that money is going to dry up. And I pray the Lord to do. Lord be with all them families. But I pray the Lord to do, because now, just like everybody had a healthy fear of the Lord when the earthquake happened, now it's going to be obvious to blacks and Hispanics especially that only the Lord could provide for them now.
That's right.
The Lord don't have to be with me. Give the Lord a hand. Give the Lord a hand. The Lord is going to have to be with me. The Lord is going to have to be with my children. The Lord is going to have to see about our health. The Lord is going to have to make black doctors come out of the woodwork to help black people, like East Indian doctors help East Indian people. And Chinese bankers help Chinese people. Now we're going to be forced into a corner, and it's a beautiful thing, It's good. It's the turning of things upside down. It's the beginning of the revolution. You get the point? No, with all this, you had the 1990 coup, the anniversary, just a month ago. it changed nothing. 56 years of independence. Before that, everybody was saying, white man leave, we could run our own thing. Not even 100 years later, you're ready to call the white man back to manage your oil. And then sell the raw product cheap. You get the point? I was in Atlantic LNG, which is liquid natural gas. When they came because of the gas find off the southwest coast of Trinidad. The then government, which I believe was the UNC government, was the Indians, they signed something like a 10-year tax break on the foreign investors. Brother, to set up shop and start mining the gas. You know what kind of money they pardon them foreign bastards are? I mean, we're talking billions of dollars. We're talking taxes are. 10-year tax break. I believe it's 10 years. It could be even more. In exchange for money under the table to grease your hands. You remember Bungie sing a song how the Prime Minister built a mansion up in England? Where do you think that money come from? You don't make that much money as the leader of the country. Get the point? Like, it was a lot of underhanded thing with politicians. And I ain't just talking about the East Indian, I'm talking about the PNM too. A politician is a politician. It don't matter what shirt he wearing. Wherever the guy going, that's where he going. You know what I mean? Your card, you had your hand up? So, go ahead.
I just think
I'm supposed to bring an envelope.
I think.
Yeah, in a little while. Go ahead, Ak.
In the first 5 years, they already paid for all the investments.
Say again?
The money within the first 5 years, they made enough money to pay for all the investments.
Exactly. And Atlantic LNG, those big tankers, those big, imagine a boat big like a cruise ship would dock in Trinidad and fill up with natural gas, compressed natural gas, liquefied natural gas. And that boat not going to America, that boat going to Europe. Imagine something of that scale, and in 5 years, you're already making a profit in 5 years. Now imagine you was paying the government tax for, coming to operate. How much money the government would have made and how much longer it would have took them to make a profit. You get the point? You understand? Come on, so up.
They even built 2 tanks in Louisiana where they were doing storage, sir.
Where they was doing storage of the gas, right?
Cancer.
You understand? It's big money. It's big money passing. So now we clear all of that. We understand all of that, right? Now let's go to the Independence Day. All right. Let's go to the Independence Day and understand what really was happening. What really was happening? The things that led up to. I think that's in there, right? Let's get the thing that led up to it. Trinidad was ruled. Trinidad was ruled as a crown colony with no elected representation until 1925, right? Meaning it was a property of Britain. It was a property of, England, all right? Although Tobago had an elected assembly, this was dissolved prior to the union of the two islands. In 1925, the first elections to the Legislative Council were held, right? 7 of the 13 members were elected, and others were nominated by the governor. The governor is the person who basically ran the country on behalf of the Queen, right? Labor riots in 1937, led by Tubular Buzz Butler, an immigrant from neighboring island of Grenada, shook the country and led to the formation of the modern trade union movement, right? So Trinidad had Labor Day last month. It was to honor that whole movement, and that whole movement was, those riots they turned extremely violent. They did not start off violent. They start off as the usual. We shall overcome. It's that whole marching and picketing. But of course, at that time, it was more colonized based. It was more separated, segregation, social stratification, meaning white man, the Syrian, the Chinese, the East Indian, then the black people on the bottom. You get me? So of course, you have black people coming together for something. Send the police out there, not to secure people's safety, but to crack skulls. You get me? And of course, there was a whole riot. I think there was a cop. He's a cop, or he was an activist. Some Charlie King. I think he got killed. Right? There was a whole set of fighting and stuff going on. All right. Butler was jailed from 1937 to 1939. Meanwhile, mind you, Buzz Butler in his younger days fought, I believe, in World War II on behalf of Britain because, of course, the islands was British colonies. So he was a vet, a war hero for Britain. You get the point? And of course, coming back to his came to Trinidad because of the oil. Because oil was big. Right? He led the whole movement, which later formed the trade unions, but at that time there was workers who would, would form a union to strike. Right? He was jailed from 1937 to 1939, but was rearrested when the United Kingdom entered World War II and jailed for the duration of the war. After his release in 1945, Butler reorganized his political party, the British Empire Citizens and Workers Home Rule Party, right? This party won in popularity in the 1950 general election. The establishment feared Butler as a radical, and instead, Albert Gomes became the first chief minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So now, after he done went to war, came back, led a revolt, went to jail, he came out and formed a political party that was about to take power in Trinidad. You get the point? British people seeing that, of course, elections is never up to the people, right? If you think, people show me a voting finger. You remember that song? Show me a voting finger. You know what I mean? Everybody come out red, showing the finger. If you think you have a choice on who leading you, you're a dummy. Right? So like if anybody in the room voting, you're not supposed to be voting no way. If your vote this year is your last year. Right? You don't vote. Votes don't decide politicians or elected leaders. What does?
Yes, sir.
The luck here.
Let me get somebody else start. So let me get who else there? Mascoya.
Let's repeat the question one more time, sir.
Voting does not decide your leader. What does?
Well, the heads are the states.
True. I need something else. Shakan?
They're more like the collegiate electoral, like more like.
Okay, that's a board in America, but there's something else. Who else in the back there? Bayath?
Party financiers.
Otherwise known as money. Money. No, make it plain. Right? Paul said, because we have this knowledge now, we use great plainness of speech. I told you Bayath was a chief negotiator. Bayath he don't come raw off the cuff at all. He ain't raw off the cuff. Bayath is like a good aged bottle of scotch. It's strong, but it's smooth. The party financiers, not financiers, they're financiers. Right? No, nigga, money, nigga. A briefcase full of money. A bag of money in your trunk. You get the point? Money besides leaders. And of course, they didn't want Butler to become a leader because of how radical he was. And okay, just based on knowing the white man is the devil, when they call a black man radical, what does that mean? What does that really mean?
Salaki.
Go ahead, Gabar.
It means it's going to interrupt our money.
He's going to interrupt our money, but it means something else too.
Go ahead,
Shakan.
Meaning like he's like an extra rebel.
It's something else. Okay, this code talk. He's a rebel, Why is he a rebel? Sis?
Because they cannot control themselves.
They can't control him, but okay. Not being able to control somebody is not really a problem. It could be an asset to you. But there's something else. Who's that in the back there, Shaw? Makoya, go ahead.
To them, the black man
Say it one more time. The screen freeze as you say it.
I said to them, the black man is the devil.
Explain it a little more. You're right, but explain it a little bit more.
Well, due to the things that they will push, that the black man is everything he's doing, stopping this good process from happening, this so-called good process from happening.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Let me bring out your point some more. Anytime you're a black or Hispanic man and you love your people, and the betterment of your people is at the forefront of your motive, you are a radical. You are a rebel. You are extremist. You get the point?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Ak.
Like when the individual is going to take the attention of the people, when the people will pay him attention,
okay,
and might follow him, right?
Okay, that's true. That's true, but that's not a bad thing if you're a sellout.
True.
You understand? People follow Al Sharpton, right? Al Sharpton is black people's representative, as far as everybody knows, correct? Why isn't he called a radical?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead. Shakan?
Because he's for more for his people, like
because
everything.
No, he's not for his people.
Al Sharpton.
Focus with me, Shakan. Focus. Al Sharpton has the air of black people.
Oh, okay.
White man does not call him a radical. Why?
Oh.
Shakan?
Because he ain't for his people, and
what is he for?
He's more for the more like a come up, like a devil, like a white devil.
But what is he for? What motivates him?
Money.
Yes, give Shakan a hand. To what? You made it home. You made it home. I thought you were going to run past the house, but you stopped right in front of the house. To what? You understand? He has the air of his people, but he is motivated by a check. You could pay him to say what you want him to say. Butler, you couldn't pay him to say nothing. You get the point? Butler wanted to see his brothers and sisters eat. Butler wanted to see the betterment of his people. And when you're a white man, when you're a devil, when you're a European colonizer, a conquistador, if you're from, Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, black people eating means your profit margin gets smaller. If black people could just work for you and starve and die, your profit would be this wide. You understand?
Now
that's so they made sure that Butler didn't win, that Gomes won. Go ahead, Yakan.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
any black man that the white man cannot control is a dangerous person to them.
Okay, it's a little bit more technical because Abu Bakr, you couldn't control him. Was he dangerous to the white man? Exactly. Or else, if he was dangerous, where would he be right now? Exactly.
Yeah.
He'd be dead. You understand? If he was dangerous to the white man, even though you couldn't control him, but he was dangerous to the white man. I don't know how much you all know. I can't remember if I covered it, but America had sent a small force down during the coup. I don't know if you all knew about it. America sent a small force down about 2 or 3 days before Abu surrendered. You understand? And I believe my memory a little foggy on it, but I believe the whole thing was, if he did not surrender, their orders was to kill everybody. Their orders was to come in there with the Trinidad Regiment and make sure his body's coming out of the Red House and not him. And he surrendered. You understand? He surrendered because of it. There was a small American force came down because, of course, Trinidad is strategically placed for America's interests. It's close to Venezuela, but it's more of an American territory than anything else. You get the point?
Like I said, based on interview, right? It was alleged that that same thing story is talking about. And a few Americans came down to do negotiating, all right? But they wanted to keep it under the radar.
Yeah.
But based on say who have broken the deal.
They kept it under the radar and what?
That it was the Americans who have broken the deal for him to surrender.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It was a small force. TTT had shown it, the Trinidad television. At that time, I believe Hennessy was on it. They showed it. Them niggas came on a goddamn helicopter. One of them big Apache. It was like maybe 8 of them. But it's the American forces that helped broker the deal. And it really wasn't a negotiation. It was you have a certain amount of time to walk out of there with your guns up. Or after that time is no more talking. We're coming in. You understand? And then he surrendered. Because, of course, in any other country you take over, you get carried out in a body bag. Anywhere else. He couldn't be controlled, but he's the white man, he's not a problem to us. You understand? When you're a problem to the white man is when you have the air of your people and you are totally 100% breathing, eating, and sleeping for their benefit. You understand? Abu-Bakr took over the country, shot the leader, and killed people. He's still alive. Muammar Gaddafi was the elected leader of Libya. Never took over the country. As far as we know on record, he ain't never killed nobody. He's dead. See the difference? And they're both Muslim. But Gaddafi is for his people. You get the point? Abu Bakr is supposedly radical for Arabs. To the white man, he's not a threat.
Salakia, sir.
You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Shakan.
Yeah, when you say Abu, the fellow Abu, that's the same guy that was playing the guitar in Trinidad, right?
No, the guy who was playing the guitar is a Californian.
Oh, okay.
His career was based on political and social commentary. So he would sing songs, but I mean, he ain't singing party songs. He talking about the government and how they corrupt and, you know, how they stealing money and blah, blah, blah. He attacking the government through song.
So he's considered radical then?
Not with music.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying? Not with music, not him. But we talking about the guy really cool. But anyway, so this is Butler. All right, let's get some more real quick. The 1956 general elections saw the emergence of the People's National Movement under leadership of Eric Williams. Right, the PNM opposed by Dr. Rujanath Kapildeo of the Democratic Labour Party and Ashford Sinanath. You know, Kapildeo and Sinanath, I believe, is 2 Indian, right? Who later founded the West Indian National Party. All right. Eric Williams, I'm not too sure what his nationality is. I ain't that old, and the pictures of him ain't that great right now. It's Salaki. But anyway, right? They continued to dominate politics in Trinidad up until 1986. Anyway, the party won every general elections between 1956 and 1981. Williams became prime minister at independence and remained in that position until his death in 1981. Okay, so now you had Gomes who won the election to become chief minister of Trinidad. And then you have Eric Williams, who became Prime Minister of Trinidad upon independence. You get me? Now, coming up in the truth, Captain. Now, in fact, that's the brother. He also from Trinidad. Me and him come up in the truth together. He would always say, "There's something wrong with that. Why they give us independence? What's the point?" And it's a very heavy, valid point. You had to go back and look at the climate of the country before that and why they chose Eric Williams. Why they chose him? Because to the white man, he was a good nigger. You get the point? No, I'm not attacking Eric Williams to say he's a sellout or he no good. That's not what I'm saying right now, because of course I need the facts to back that up. As far as I know, he's a well-educated scholar, wrote a ton of good books. What's the book he had? Is a bestseller. Even Brothers in Truth got the book. It's on the UPK list.
Wow.
I forget the name of the damn book, but it's a good ass book. All right, he wrote a ton of good books. Slavery. I forget the name of the book. It's gonna come back to me real soon. But Slaki, go ahead, Hart.
I think that book is speaking about the slave trade.
Not about the slave trade, something else. He wrote a ton of books because he was a scholar. You get the point? He was more, the educated type. But to the white man, he was the safe Negro. You get the point? He was the safe Negro versus putting Butler in office. You put Butler in office, you liable to have another Haiti on your hands. You get the point? You liable to have a whole nother Haiti on your hands. Boom. That's important. Why? America also has independence, correct?
Sir.
Who gave America the independence? Salakia, hold on, I switch screens. Who hung up?
Salakia.
Go ahead, Gabar.
Britain.
No.
You said who gave the independence?
Yep.
Didn't they take it, supposedly, allegedly?
So who gave America independence?
Nobody.
So how did America get independence?
They declared their independence.
That's Slovakia.
Go ahead, Art.
Shakan?
Yeah, go ahead, Shakan.
Well, I would say they basically bully everybody for it.
Bully is the wrong word.
Oh, can't.
Bully is the wrong word. Right? It's more what Gabar was saying. Anybody else that was going to say something? Right? America went to war for their independence.
What? Dang.
You understand? America went to war for their independence. America shed blood for their independence. You get the point? America said taxation without representation is tyranny. Because, of course, the first settlers, they were still considered part of Britain's territory and still had to pay tribute and send money. They had to pay, they were taxed. Right? And they was like, listen, man, you ain't doing this to us. It's a wrap. Remember the Boston Tea Party throwing all the damn tea in damn water? You know what I mean?
Good.
America went to war for their independence. So now, how could countries like Trinidad, Jamaica be independent? And America is also independent. But Trinidad is third world and America is first world. You have to look at the process. Haiti, nobody gave Haiti their independence. Haiti took their independence just like America did. And what's the condition of Haiti right now?
Poverty, sir. Salakia.
You're right. Extreme derelict poverty. There's a huge gap between the rich and the poor. Very huge. There's a great gulf fixed between them two. Right? Another country that suffered too was Jamaica because of rebellion. Get the point? So what's clear is that if you white and you rebel, you get your own spot. If you black and you rebel, you die. Unless
Go
go ahead.
Unless you're sell out. Unless you sell out.
Unless you're willing to come to the table and agree to my term.
That's right. Damn right, sir.
So for 56 years, every August 31st, independence, get something on wave. Get something on wave. Red, white, and black. Red, white, and black. The red is for the blood of the people. Black is for the earth. White is for purity. God save Trinidad. Yay. Still a British, under British rule. All right. We going deep tonight, Akim. You all go get your go get your oxygen tank and your flippers. We going down in this shit tonight. Who are they?
That's what's
That's what we're going.
So anybody that threatens or tarnishes the image of the white man, of his white supremacy, that is what will label and make sure that he demoralize or destroy at last.
That's
the aim of the white man.
That's true. And okay, in the truth, that's how we could understand it. When you're teaching it to people, do not teach it as anybody who threatens white supremacy. What does it mean to be a threat to white supremacy?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Just basically being a Hebrew Israelite, sir. Or knowing you're not.
I cannot disagree with you, Shakan. I can't say no. That's not the answer I was looking for, but I cannot say you're wrong. You're absolutely right. So, like, wait, hold on, Shakan. Come on, Ak. You gotta bring me home. Don't just drive me off and leave me outside.
All right, Khan, sir.
If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you could only be a Hebrew Israelite where?
Truth, sir. The I.S.U.P.K, sir.
All right, thank you, Ak. Say it right next time. Say it right next time. Give him a hand. Shit. Don't tell me about Hebrew Israelite. Nah, everybody else is Christian. You get the point? Niggas right now, you know, in fringes and wearing a shield, you know, going, you know, sorry about Aretha Franklin. You know, she's a woman, she I feel you, but Flint still ain't got no goddamn water. You know what I mean? Aretha got enough tears. Okay, gotta be more specific. To be a threat to white supremacy, you must be a black supremacist. You understand? That's the only threat to white supremacy. Not Islam, not Christianity. Christianity is white supremacy, which is the topic tonight. The threat to white supremacy is being a black and Hispanic supremacist. That's it. Precept. Whoever get this one hack, ooh-wee, what's on the table? I just started give away shit again to inspire, you know, some answers. I think I owe somebody a t-shirt right now.
So, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, everybody sitting up now. It's like, yeah, free shit, nigga. Yeah, I know you want all the free shit. Turn my fire, everybody. Right now, a red cent, you got a charge. You're like, hey, let's got that penny on the ground. The only way to be a threat to white supremacy is to be a black and a Hispanic supremacist. I want my precept.
For being a...
Who is that? Maka? Come on, Ak. Bring me home.
All right. I want to try Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Let me hear it. That's not what I want, but it might be if you bring it.
All right, so like I said, Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. King over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not over thee, not thy brother.
Okay, I'll take that for the elections, but there's something else. I'll take that for the elections, but there's something else.
Khan, Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Chupa Shakan, Matthew 27, chapter 27, 24 through 25.
Let me hear it, huh?
Khan, sir. Sorry, sir. Salakia, sir.
You know, sweat. If you're calling your script here, you gotta be prepared to read. You should have.
No, sir.
All right, so let me skip to somebody else. All right, go ahead. Who's that? Bayaf?
That's awesome.
Nah, it looked like Bayaf in the back there, man.
After me, sir.
Bayaf. Let's go.
2 Corinthians 6 and 17.
Let me hear.
Wherefore come out from amongst them, and be ye separate, saying the Lord, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
See, that's a good precept, and that's what every Black and Hispanic need to do now in Trinidad. Come out from among the unclean things. We going into the Christmas, we going into the parangin, straight into Carnival. Earthquake happened and the economy in trouble. Time to find the truth now. But that's not what I want. Come on.
Jeremiah 10.
Say again?
Jeremiah 10.
Tazawa, hold your peace, Doc. I'm going to call you. Hold your peace. Go ahead, Gaba.
Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which the Most High speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Verse 2. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. No?
Okay. What I'm saying is specifically in the Bible. The only way to fight white supremacy is to be a Black and Hispanic supremacist. Is what Shakan said. Is to be at Israel. Is to be in the UPK. Tazawolf.
Like it's in 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 54 to 56.
I know I should have skipped. No. That's not it. I'm gonna hear you. I thought you got me. I thought it's like, God damn it. I'm gonna hear you still though, but that's not it. Go ahead, quickly. Come on.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
You know what? I didn't think about that one. That's a close second. Right now you're in the lead, Tazawa. Right now you're in the lead. Come on, Maka.
Salakia, sir.
Hold on, Shakan. I'm gonna come back to you. Come on, Maka.
I will try next one, so I want to try Deuteronomy.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. But thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people of the earth.
That's good. I'll get you a close second too. You and Tazo got it. Something else. Shakan, let me hear you.
Deuteronomy 20:23, verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Adamite.
No. That's definitely not. Go ahead. Who's in the back there? Maskoyak? Come on, save them. They ain't looking too good right now.
Is this Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1?
What's it?
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
That's what everybody needs to do in Trinidad right now. We are not desired. You understand? I seen a video. Hold on. I think I still have the goddamn video. Where it was the same day of the announcement that they was going to close down the refineries. And this East Indian guy is driving his truck, and he driving in Point-a-Pierre, where one of the refineries are, where you all met. What's the name of the hill? Maskoyak? Or your car, whoever it is. What's the name of the hill? Beaumont Hill. He's driving around there, and he's like, yeah, it's a sad time, yo. Look at people. Look at all these cars that people had to pay for. It's time for us to really come together, yo. Put aside everything and come together. Bullshit. I'm going to find it and share it. Come together for what? Coming together for everybody else means niggas on the bottom. Always remember that. Because whenever we come together, them people who come together going to need the grass cut. They're going to need their trash taken out. They need their food cooked. You understand? They need their behind wiped. And that's the job of a black and Hispanic in any world that's unified. Y'all think?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead, Shakan. Let me hear you.
I wanted to try again.
Come on with it.
Acts 17 and 26.
Let me hear you.
And had made of one blood and all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and had determined it before appointed and the bounds of their habitation.
Not that. Omar I.S.U.P.K. Matthew 15 and 24. That's good, but not what I want. Knowledge J. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence. Okay, that's a good precept to show the Lord is going to jam Esau. But I'm talking about what I said. The only way to fight white supremacy is to be a black supremacist, black and Hispanic supremacist. The only threat to white supremacy is black and Hispanic supremacy. All right? What's you got for me?
Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power, and the Most High hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are on the earth.
When I give it to you, you're going. When I give it to you, you're going to be like, yeah. I was about to say that, I was about to say that. All right. Come on, Tasso, one more time.
Psalm chapter 119 verse 142, sir.
No. Y'all ready now? No, Tasso, you was the closest man. You was the closest man. Nah, we done. Salakia, it's done. It's done. That's it. Close. Close the gate. Close. You're late. Give me second, Ezra. Give me second, Ezra. Salakia, your card. I hear you, brother. You're still but done. Done. Right? Game done. No extra time. You are sub. You warming up. You coming on to go and score in the last 2 minutes of the game. The referee ball. Tweet. So I'm laughing at you. All right. Give me second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7.
Good.
And read all the way until verse 10. Gabar, you read that for me out. Nice and low.
God one con. Second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
All right. Ezra is asking the angel, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? What does that mean, parting asunder of the times?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Tasso.
What shall be the change of rulership, or the change of this hell that we're in the captivity we're in?
What shall be the end of white supremacy and the beginning of what is supposed to come after, which is black and Hispanic supremacy?
Right.
Get the point? That's what Ezra is asking. When is going to be the end of this time? And when is the beginning of the things that's to come? I want my turn on top. I'm tired of being on the bottom. Keep going.
Verse 8. And he said unto me,
hold on, Abraham. Salakia. Remember he said, read verse 7 again, the middle, or when?
Or when shall be the end of the first?
Of the who?
Of the first.
Of the who?
Of the first.
Who was the first?
Esau's kingdoms.
Esau.
The white man.
Esau was also the first where?
Yes, sir.
That's what?
The firstborn from Jacob and
was also the firstborn. When is going to be the end of the first rulership? Esau is also called what? Lucifer, son of the morning. The first thing is in the morning, because it's representing his prominence in the earth. He's the hero, he's the villain. He's the last samurai and the Martian. He's everything. He is the son of the morning. When will be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow? Give me verse 8.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
You understand? When they were born, Jacob's hand held the heel of Esau. What was that about?
Sir.
Come on, Shakan.
Meaning like he gonna be the one who rule and everything. So he was trying to hold on just in case like he get left behind.
No.
No.
You gotta do a little bit more study in Shakan. You gotta catch up on those things, all right, Doc?
Can't, sir.
No sweat. Go ahead, Maka.
That was symbolizing the firstborn was supposed to receive the blessing, sir.
Not that part. That doesn't symbolize the firstborn receiving the blessing. Tazwa?
So if I may, sir, I think it represents Jacob would be the pulling down of Esau's kingdom, sir.
No. No. Bayath? Bayath.
He was just basically trying to find out the changing over times from Esau to Jacob.
Nope.
Salakia.
Come on, Gaba.
Does it have to do with when they were tussling in the womb?
Yes. Yes. Bring it out. Explain it.
Well, they were Rebecca had sought counsel to ask why she was feeling pains, and it was explained to her that that the pains that she felt.
Pull it for me, Gaba. I had to pull it now. I don't think everybody is familiar with it. All right, Shakan, pull it for me. Genesis what, 25? Quickly, right up on 9 o'clock. Give it to me, Shakan.
Sir. And Genesis 25 verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
That's right. Knowledge J. You said the same thing. They separate from the womb. That's what it represents. Right? The mother, Rebecca, she had severe stomach pains in her birth. And you sisters, you know about it. Sometimes the baby kick. And you had to sit down because that nigga in there, he alive. He alive, you know what I mean? And that baby kick. Now imagine you got twins and them niggas ain't kicking. They in a full out fighting there like two man fighting. She wondering, what the hell is this? Now imagine, okay, to inquire of the Lord, you have to be in a certain amount of pain. Anybody who's ever been in serious pain, whether back pain, broken foot, there comes a time when you don't give a rat's ass what the doctor have to say. You go to bed you go to sleep at night, and before you fall asleep, you shed some manly tears and you beg the Lord to take your pain away. Anybody who's ever been in serious physical pain, brother, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You start making a deal with the Most High. Lord, if you take this from me, Lord, if you see it, spare me, Lord, relieve me. If it happened to you in the world, you go into bed crying, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. This sister was in pain, but of course she ain't no Christian. And in times old, like it says in I think it's 1 Samuel 9:9, it says, in times past, when people wanted to inquire of the Lord, they went to who was in times past called a seer, who is now a prophet. When you wanted to ask questions of the Lord, you would go see a man of the Lord. He'll answer your questions. So she went to her husband and said, listen, why am I thus? Why am I in such pain? And he told her, listen, 2 manner of people are in your womb. 2 nations in there fighting. One nation is stronger than the other. Who is that?
Salakin.
Come on, Gabar.
Jacob is stronger than Esau.
Jacob is the stronger one. And the elder one will serve the younger. What's that talking about? Who's that in the back there? Bayaf? Elder shall serve the younger. Come on with it, Akim, quickly.
Salakia.
Oh, Shah, give me Shah. Elder will serve the younger. What are we talking about?
Salakia, sir.
Shakan, hold your peace, sir. Hold your peace. Shakan, hold your peace, sir. I ain't call you yet. Shah. Shah. The elder one will serve the younger one. Break it down. Shah, who is the elder one?
Esau.
Esau, sir.
Who is the younger? Shakan, hold your peace, brother.
Sorry, sir.
Be disciplined, Be disciplined.
Forgive me, sir.
No sweater. We're going to work on it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to forgive. We're going to work it. Forgive me if I check you too hard. Hell, shit. It's a lot. Shah. Esau is the elder. Who is the younger?
Jacob.
Elder shall serve the younger. What does that mean?
Born.
Go ahead. The elder one will serve the younger one. Break it down, Shah. Give him a chance. I got you by. Give him a chance. Come on, Shah. Come on with it. You already called them. The elder is Esau. The younger one is Jacob. Bible says the elder will serve the younger.
The
elder one will serve the younger. What does that say? Come on, Shah.
The promise to the seed, sir.
So real simple. You're going too far. I'm just asking you to explain this for me. Elder one will serve the younger one. Who is the elder one? Who is the younger one?
Jacob.
So what does the Bible say?
That Jacob will be in worship of the earth?
Not specific enough, right there with it. I'm going to go to Bayat. You got to be specific with it. Let me give you one more chance, Shah. Be specific, right? But it does it say anything about the earth? Elder will rule the younger? Will serve the younger? Does it say anything about the earth? Shakan, put your phone on mute. Does it say anything about the earth? The elder will serve the younger. Break it down. You're right there with it, Who is the elder? And what will Esau do to who is the younger?
Torment them.
Think about the scripture. The elder will serve the younger. The elder one will serve the younger.
So that you have to bow down?
Yes, Shah. That's not what you want. You don't want some white slave, Shah. Shah say, wait a minute, you're gonna be freeing all the goddamn slaves on the plantation, huh? You don't want some white slaves to come and serve you, brother. You don't want. Listen, this is what I want. I just thought about this the other day. I want a white snitch slave. See like how these Israelites who run and tell the white man what other Israelites are doing. I want to have a slave who's a devil, who is a snitcher. And he sneaks up in the night, crawls through the mud and knocks on the glass. And I come out with the whip. Who dares waketh up Mashak? And he says, Salaki, sir, forgive me, master. But those devils, and you just think about how big-headed black people talk about other black people. Them niggers. Remember Fitzgerald Hines? When they came out of the beat, I was like, I'm gonna make you a pig. Just think like that. He gonna come up and say, yeah, those filthy white devils, they're planning a revolt tomorrow. I thought I should tell you because they are no good. Brother, that's power. That's good. He should tell me. He should snitch on them. No problem. And I'm going to reward him. He's going to get 5 whips for waking me up, though. I mean, you shouldn't wake me up. You should snitch openly. Right? Sure. Elder is going to serve the younger. Esau is going to be a slave to Jacob. That's a prophecy. You get the point? So that's why Ezra is asking when is going to be the end of the first kingdom, the first rulership, the firstborn, which is Esau. Because he knows once the end of the first is past, that prophecy is coming true. That Esau is now going to serve us. To fight white supremacy, you must be a black supremacist. There's nothing else in the Bible. The Bible doesn't mention the Africans, the Chinese, the East Indians. Let's keep reading. You're gonna see it. Come on, Gabar. Give me
verse 9
quickly.
Khan. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Esau is the end of the world. When you see Esau's kingdom set up, we are at the end. And Esau's kingdom is in full flight. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. Did it say the Arab Spring? Did it say the temple? Did it say Buddha be praised with the little beads? No. Did it say Rastafari? Did it say Jah Rastafari, I and I, Selassie, I got 19 I? No. Esau is the end. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Keep reading.
Verse 10, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, ask thou not.
You understand? The angel tell him, don't ask me nothing else, nigga. I'm done with you. To get the whole picture of it, you got to read from first Esdras all the way. Esdras was humbugging the angel out. And at one time, he got indignant with the angel. Damn near disrespect the angel. The angel tell him, listen, man, the hand of man is between the heel of Esau and the hand of Jacob. Anything else you want to know, Esdras? Don't ask me shit. Somebody explain this for me. Somebody break this down. Oh, I don't have no takers? All right, what I need to give away? I had to become Alex Trebek. A brand new car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come on, Maka.
The part you want to break down is the last part where you say don't ask him any questions, sir?
No. I think that's self-explanatory. Don't ask me no question, don't ask me no question.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
The first part of verse 10, right? That's what you ask number, right?
Right.
The man is between.
Yeah, Gabar, read it one more time.
Verse 9.
Verse 10, the beginning.
Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
All right. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. I'm going to give you a little help. The heel is talking about the heel of Esau, and the hand is the hand of Jacob that, remember, they came out the womb. Jacob held on the foot of Esau because they was fighting so much.
Okay. Yes, sir. So, in other words, the angels, right? Say that the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General Yahanna is bringing up the shoot the 4 corners of the earth, and we're going to wrap it up real soon. Under Yahweh Mashiach.
I like how Tazawar there's approach problem. I used to do this shit too. I used to do this shit too. Until Jeremiah Hyman explained to me the art of war. Now listen now. War needs aggression and zeal. So keep that part. Tazawar realized he ain't gonna hit the target, so he gonna shoot up the whole room. So he just, imagine how the I.S.U.P.K gonna restore this. He just give me the whole bag. It's like one of them things must be right. I used to do the whole thing. I go to a speaking and just blaze on everything moving. I blaze on the fire. Hyman teach me focus. Focus, which is a hard thing to do if you're Israelite in the truth, because you have so much rage over the condition of your people. He told me this one thing. Don't light a forest fire. Be a laser. Right? Do not light a forest fire. Be a laser. Zero in on that thing and hammer it home. And that was the birth of myself, Salaki. After that, I was a changed man. I was thank the Lord for some counsel. Saved my whole ton of precepts. All right? So that's good, but not that.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
Is it saying that the hand of man being the men that will change, that will end Esau's kingdom?
Nope.
No.
Real simple. Maybe I should ask you that first. What is the hand of man?
Salaki, sir.
That's war?
Is it the truth, sir, of black supremacy, sir?
Nope. Anybody else? Go ahead, young man. What's your name?
Christopher.
Stefan?
Christopher. Is it it means choice?
Say again?
Choice. Choice. It doesn't mean choice that you have to make a choice between choosing righteousness or choosing evil.
You in a way talking about it, but not spot on. In a way you're talking about it. As you come to class more, you gonna understand the choice between righteousness and evil is the choice between obeying God or men of the Lord and following the white man. And you're going to have to say it like that and speak it like that to understand it. Like good and evil don't exist without people. You get the point? So you're saying it in a roundabout way, but not really. Anybody else? Sis, you had your hand up?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Does, when they refer to the hand, does it refer to the works of man?
What do you mean?
Your deeds?
No, not in that context. A little bit more simpler than that.
Salaki.
Go ahead, Gabar.
Is the hand of man talking about Christ, like Son of Man?
No.
In that sense? No.
No. Richard Mendes, he said the same thing. If the hand of man is Yahweh Shai, but he said, I'm gonna give it to Richard Mendes for time's sake. He said the hand of man is the other nations. That's correct. Y'all lost focus because Tazawar back there lighting forest fires and shooting up the block. We talking about white supremacy versus black and Hispanic supremacy. Who is in charge of the earth right now? White man, white supremacy. According to the Bible, who is going to be in charge of the earth after? Blacks and Hispanics, or black supremacy. This is the heel of the white man. This is the hand of black people. Everybody else is in between this fight. This struggle that's been going on since the womb, the entire fate of the earth hangs on whoever is in charge. The white man is in charge now. So who does the Chinese man serve? The white man. Who does the African serve? White man. Who does the East Indian serve? White man. The hand of man is between the heel of Jacob, of Esau, and the hand of Jacob. The tables are going to turn. And Esau going to be on the bottom. Jacob going to be on top. Who is the African going to serve?
Jacob.
Blacks and Hispanics. Who is the East Indian going to serve?
Jacob.
Blacks and Hispanics. Who is the Chinese going to serve?
Blacks and Hispanics.
Blacks and Hispanics. You women got it rough. Them Korean and them Chinese whooping your ass in the damn nail salon. There's going to come a time where they're going to beg to do your nails. They're going to beg to do your nails, and I'll probably let them do the nails of the horses. I'll probably let them do the nails of the horses. But they'll not touch my woman, Salaki. You ain't going to put them grubby Down syndrome ass, retarded ass hands on my woman. The hell with that. I mean, I'll probably let them paint pig knuckles. You understand? You fight white supremacy by becoming part of the rulership of the next kingdom, which is black and Hispanic supremacy. Everybody else is just, they're just on the table. They stakes. They profit. Everybody else is going to serve who's in charge. You understand? And that's not everybody else will serve who in charge. So knowing that, you card. My advice to you is never go no more union meeting. Knowing that, I wouldn't worry about the OWTU. If you're still paying dues, pay your dues, because whatever they win, you could get some benefit from. But if you think they're going to march in the hot sun and we shall overcome what? I staying home and studying. I must stay home and work on the things I need to work on so that what? Finish my thought. I would stay home and work on the things I need to work on so that what can happen?
Like yourself, so I can help raise my people.
So that what?
So you can continue to raise our people, to rule.
So that I can rule. I can rule these people. Come together in solidarity with who? A East Indian? For what? Right now, if I come together with him, I end up on the bottom. I ain't coming together with nobody. I ain't coming together with no African, no Chinese, no nothing. Right? You remember Patrick Manning say, if we win, we're going to win alone. If we lose, we're going to lose alone. But we are going to do it together. Listen, that was a cold-ass line, huh? He was wrong as hell. He talking about politics. But, brother, I ain't coming together with you. In this very same house that you trying to save, your people oppress my people.
Right.
Them East Indian police arresting brothers for nothing. Black police officers too, but their supervisors is Indian. Them East Indian judges and lawyers trading brothers' future for prison sentences. What the hell am I coming together with you for? I pray all the wells dry up. Salakia, I know some of y'all eating off of that, but we have a plan. You come in the UPK, you will never stop. We have a plan. We have a plan. Ask Makar, ask Tazwat, your card. We have a plan, Akim. Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna stop. But I pray all the wells dry up. I pray no more black gold comes out of the earth, so that this house can fall, so we can rule. So we can rule. That's what I want. You understand? Now, understanding that, Independence Day. Now, this is what I found out here. I started looking. Now, I know it was coming up, so I was like, you know what? Let me do a little bit of history on Independence Day. So I started looking up, you know, the history of different countries of, you know, their independence and what they went through and their protests. Because of course, being simple, I'm thinking, you know, yeah, they gave Trinidad independence. You know, we ain't America, the white man is a savage. So of course, he fight for his, but other countries get theirs. And I started running down the list. Right? The list is in alphabetical order. Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Antigua, Barbuda, Argentina. Right? I'm going to skip down Bahamas, Bangladesh, Bahrain, Belize, Botswana, Brazil, Cameroon, Burundi, Cambodia. Let's see some more. What is this? Comoros. I don't know where that is. Somewhere off of the coast of Mozambique. The Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dominican Republic, right? That's so heavy. Yeah. Ecuador. You see some more. Latvia. So I'm looking through, and guess what I noticed? As I'm looking through this, there's no Germany, there's no England, France is not on the list, right? Let me scroll down. Scroll down. South Africa, LMNOP. Spain is not on the list. Let me see. Italy. Where's Italy? HIJKL. You have Haiti, Honduras, Iceland, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Ireland, Israel, Ivory Coast, Jamaica. Italy not on the list. And you know what I started to see? Anybody get it yet? Come on, bring it out. Come on, Tazo. Let me see. Let me see it. Show your colors out.
The eagle that fly, that represent all them flag, and the so-called leader might in there. He was given independence.
You close, sir. You close. Hold on. You close. Don't light the fire. Be a laser. A little bit more. Who else had a hand up back there? Maskoyak? Go ahead, Maskoyak.
So, I'm going to start to time this in a simple, right? 18 nations, going back to Psalm 33, sir.
Something else.
Solaki.
Come on, Gabar.
Esau's kingdoms.
It is Esau's kingdom. Something else. Your card.
Like I said, the hand of man. All the nations between.
Say it one more time. Hold on. Say it one more time.
So like I said, go back to just the hand of man. All the other nations.
Something else. Okay, let me read this for you then. This might help you. Afghanistan got their independence from United Kingdom, which is England. Antigua Barbuda got their independence from United Kingdom. Right?
Khan.
Angola got their independence from Portugal. Algeria got their independence from France. Belize got their independence from United Kingdom. Benin got their independence from France. Bolivia got their independence from Spain. Anybody getting it now? Go ahead.
Is it that the 10 heads and 7 horns?
Give Tazo a hand, man. Give him a hand. Give him a hand, man. Nigga, man. Listen, God, I want to tell you this nigga learns. He learns. Listen, he get corrected more than anybody else, but his correction is not in vain. Tazo, all this knock. Most high Christ, brother. Zero in on it. Brother, the 7 heads and the 10 horns liberated the whole earth. I use the word liberated loosely. Independence came from them 7 heads and some of them 10 horns. You get the point? This is Daniel's vision. So really, you're not really independent. You get what I'm saying?
No, sir.
What is significant? Come on, Shakan, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, I was asking you like them seven horns you're talking about. That
7 heads. 7 heads. Don't mix it up. 7 heads and 10 horns. Go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Salaki.
No sweat. Go ahead. Come on.
I was asking a question like they had ruled back in the day too, right? In different.
That's where it comes from. The 7 heads. The 7 heads. You all write this down. The 7 heads are England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Russia. All right. England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Russia. All right.
Sir.
They UK was called Londonia. I believe France is Gaul. Germany is, of course, Germania. Italy, that's where you get your Rome. That's, the Roman Empire. Milan, Naples, Medici. Spain, Portugal was a famous fishing province, and then you have Russia. Now, out of that, you have the 10 horns. Now, the vision in Daniel, what? Daniel, the 7th chapter, I believe it is. You're going to see it where he talk about a beast having 7 heads, and out of each head, you had 10 horns coming out. All right? Out of the 7 heads, you had 10 horns. America is one of the little horns. America comes out of who?
Britain.
Yes, sir.
That's correct. About got it, Britain. Go ahead, so what? So what you going to say?
Sir.
England? Same thing. England, Britain, Londonia, UK. Just think of a head like an animal, like a beast, and out of that head you have a horn that grows out. Horn. And those horns now start to take over the earth and rule. So you have America. This is in Daniel, the 7th chapter. You have America, Scotland, Ireland, all come out of UK or England. Netherlands and Luxembourg, they all come out of Germany or Germania. Austria also. Switzerland, I believe, is Germany also. Australia, England, I believe. Denmark is Germany. Belgium, I believe, is France. Right? Belgium had them French ties. I believe they're France. These 10 heads form what is called what today?
Salakia. The European Union.
European Common Markets.
Common Markets.
Right? The European Common Markets. Not the EU, because of course America is not part of the EU. That what UK was the let's call it Brexit. You know what I mean? Right. But the European Common Markets, meaning these devil nations that rule the world's economy. You get what I'm saying? That's them. Go ahead, Shakan.
I was going to ask you, in other words, I could call it the white empires.
Okay, be U.P.K. about it. Don't reinvent it. The European Common Markets. All right? The 10 European Common Markets that come out of the 7 heads. So as I'm looking through, I'm trying to see, get some history on the independence, how other countries did it, and relate it to Trinidad. I'm realizing that these 7 heads is the ones who was running the earth, that literally colonized the earth. What is important about that?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Knowing who's been your common enemy from the time you're born.
That's true. Something else. All right. Who's this? Mary Alexander, you wanted what? Okay, you're asking what is the 10 horns? The 10 horns: America, Scotland, Ireland, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Austria, Switzerland, Australia, Denmark, and Belgium. All right, I believe you're missing Luxembourg. No, you have Luxembourg. Netherlands. You might be missing Netherlands and somebody else. All right. You're missing Netherlands, and I think that's it. Then you have everybody there. Austria. You're missing Netherlands and Austria. All right. They conquered everyone by war, killing and murdering and taking resources. But really, if you understand it, they conquered everyone by really enslaving the children of Israel. Each of these empires at one time either directly enslaved the 12 tribes of Israel or benefited from the slavery of the 12 tribes of Israel from one of the heads. You get me? Like France was a head. Out of France came Belgium. You get the point? But France was a head that controlled Haiti, which at one time was, filthy rich, was running the world's economy. You get the point? So Belgium is sitting on Haitian money. You get what I'm saying? So they conquer the earth by conquering us, which is why I say, if you want to fight white supremacy, you must become a black supremacist. You must become a Hispanic and Native Indian supremacist. Because that's what rules the earth. It's either going to be the white man or it's going to be us. And the whole world is sitting back looking to see who's going to win this fight. Right now, the mystery of iniquity already does work. The world thinks the white man is God. That's why Black Panther was such a heavy movie, because the world wants to kill Killmonger. The world wants Killmonger dead because, who the hell, y'all ain't going to win shit anyway. Little do they know. Little do they know. Now, back to my question. Why is that important to understand that your so-called independence came from, that's right, Assyria, Belgium and Congo, and all of those, some of them African nations is what it was Belgium territories. Rwanda, which was them famous for that genocide, the Hutus and the Tutsis, Belgium caused that. Belgium and France. Belgium and France responsible for that whole thing. So now why is it important? Knowing that all the independence of all these so-called third world countries, some of them first world, but come from the heads or come from some of them 10 horns. Why is that important?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
So is it because it was prophesied to happen that way, sir, in that particular order?
No. Something else. Who's with me?
So yes, sir.
Come on, who's that? Who? Your card, go ahead.
Your card.
Your card, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Is it contrary to scripture where his
Hold on 1 second. Shakan, put your phone on mute for a second, Ark. Again, some feedback with the wind. Tawada warrior. Your card, say it one more time.
Is it yes, sir? Is it because I said that in Ezra's, where it said Esau is the end of the world, where that his power, the authority will have to go through all the earth, subdue everything before?
That's true, but something else. Something else. Who's that? Baryath? I'm going to come to you, Gabar. Go ahead, Baryath.
So I asked a question, but basically within this question, when you read 2nd Ezra 11, 5 to 11, it talk about a great eagle with 3 heads. Is this 3 heads the Greek, the Romans, and America? And basically it's stating that he's always been in charge, regardless of what independence you feel that you have, you always been in charge, sir.
Okay, not so much that part. Not so much that part. What I'm talking about is, okay, America went to war for their independence, right?
Right.
1 second. Okay. Some of these countries, you would see, okay, Afghanistan, independence from United Kingdom. Antigua, Barbuda, independence from United Kingdom. Then you're going to see United States of America, Declaration of Independence from United Kingdom. You dig?
Right.
Ukraine. Hold on, wait, I just seen it. Ukraine, Declaration of Independence from the Soviet Union. Soviet Union is USSR, Russia. You get the point? Them countries fought each other. Other countries just did not.
Right.
Why did America fight for the independence? Why did Haiti fight? Why did Trinidad not fight? Oh boy, who gets this one? Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on, Hebrew. Help me out here.
The reason being is because we were in captivity, sir.
You on it. So, Haiti was in captivity too, but they fought. Levi was in captivity, but Levi put some machete and some herbs up in that shit. Baya?
Yes, sir. Basically, Esau is just fight for positioning amongst themselves, and we are slaves, so we don't really have a choice as to big decisions being made by Esau.
Haitians were slaves too.
How is that? So I guess I repeat.
Haiti was slaves too.
Right. So I guess
Go ahead.
Is it the blessing of Esau is that he'll live or rule by the sword?
That's true, but that's not Haiti. Haiti lived and ruled by the sword too. for a time. It's something else. Something else.
Oh, so I guess
come on.
If the law, sir, then you can never get fully delivered. Like everybody can be delivered. If you don't obey him,
no. Focus on what I say.
Yes, sir.
America went to war for their independence. Haiti went to war. Trinidad did not.
Wow.
Ukraine went to war for their independence. Let me get somebody else. Albania declared their independence from the Ottoman Empire. I believe the Ottoman Empire come out of the Spanish rule or something. Go ahead.
Come
on now. Come on. I'm looking for your
military might, sir.
Say that one more time.
So, we didn't fight for independence because we have no military might.
Haiti didn't have a military might.
All right. Good.
Your card?
The difference between those nations is that you will not fight for independence from yourself in the aspect of.
But America fought for independence from Britain, which is two white people. Tazawa?
Is it because it wasn't beneficial to Esau in terms of his money, his bottom line?
Salakia, sir.
Let me get Shah. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come to you, Shakan. Come on, Shah.
Come.
Salakia, to them other nations, America don't like being under subjection.
Why America does not like to be under subjection, as opposed to why Trinidad like to be under subjection, or Barbados.
Salakia, to the same people, same spirit.
What spirit, Shah? Come on, I'm trying to walk you home. Mark. What spirit does Trinidad have that the white man in America or the Haitian doesn't have? Or Barbados, or the other places that were given independence versus declaring independence. Come on. Big money. Spin the wheel. with me. Come on, somebody bring me home.
Salakia.
Shakan?
I was going to Salakia, sir. I was going to say because the white man is a head devil, and
Something real simple, Akim.
Salakia.
Okay, let me give you a hint. Go ahead, Gabar, go ahead.
The spirit of a harlot, like the spirit of one who wants.
All y'all smelling around it, man. Y'all, you know, y'all buying the broad all the wine and the flowers, and she wants you to take her home, man. God damn, she drink all she can drink and eat all she can eat. She ready to go home. You still there, beautiful, didn't it? And she like, nigga, when you gonna come get this shit? You're dancing around the shit. You're dancing around the bush. Dive in. Dive in. Come on, you God.
And the spirit of Satan, sir.
What is the spirit of Satan? What you say? I ain't hear what you say. Go ahead.
I said the spirit of Satan. The spirit of the devil.
Okay, you're on it, but come on, you ain't focusing in. Okay, hold on. Hands down. Y'all listen. We just talk about the 7 heads. The 7 heads belong to what or who?
Salakia. Esau.
Okay, Esau. Okay, in the vision that Daniel had. If you all don't know it, that's the problem. But in the vision that Daniel had, the 7 heads belong to who?
Salakia, sir.
Shakan.
The prince of the air.
No. If you don't know it, better you don't say it, because you had if you never read it, just don't guess.
Can't, sir.
Go ahead.
Another ship Mr. Right, sir, but it belong to the Most High to rule for a time, sir?
No. Gabar.
Salakia. Dragon.
Otherwise known as?
Broke up, so I'm sorry.
Although you said the dragon, otherwise known as? No, not the dragon. It's not a dragon.
Right.
Stephen, come on,
Beast.
The beast. The 7 heads belong to the beast. There's a big creature, a big beast. It has 7 heads. All white nations. Out of them 7 heads, you got little horns coming out. All white nations. Why is it that Trinidad didn't rebel against the beast, but Haiti didn't? Why is it that America rebelled against the beast? Baria.
Both America and Haiti had a spirit of rebellion on them too. And as I say, rebellion is...
No. Okay, Galawan, you're supposed to know this. You visited a community recently, and you met some people that was on one side, and then you met other people who said La Come on, Galawan.
We accept the Christian church, the Catholic church.
And some people did not accept the Christian church. What is Christianity? What is Christianity?
Christianity is white supremacy.
Otherwise known as?
Yes, sir.
The mark of the beast.
Thank you, God damn.
Yes.
Let me take a break. So I think the sister was about to get it. But Galawan is like, nah, shit, she ain't gonna steal that shit from me. This was what you was about to say, the mark of the beast?
Yes, sir.
I know you was gonna say it. You better not say anything else. Hell, she was about to come in there like you know, like Judith, and let's help you all out. Christianity is the mark of the beast, man. independence given to you is a form of the mark of the beast. With independence comes democracy. With independence comes allegiance to the crown or the white man or the queen. You get the point? It's Christianity. That's what it is. We were Christian, so Christian, we just wait until Master lets us go. You understand? Just wait until Master lets us go. I was talking to GEN.YAHANNA about it, and he was telling me about a study he was looking at as to the difference in in Muslims in the two empires. When Muslims come to America, America is able to assimilate anyone into their society. Right? Anyone who comes to America, you get assimilated in. If you're Mexican and you're born in America, you considered Mexican American. Even Mexicans, some Mexicans consider themselves American. They drop the whole Hispanic way, you know. I.S.U.P.K, if you are wrong, I.S.U.P.K have a way that they talk with, like they sing a kind of way. You know, they have a way they talk. And I.S.U.P.K who is an American, he is not talking like that. He is not even pretending to understand Spanish. We had one come up in DC here talking to Captain Ash. Ash is trying to tell him, you know, talk normal. He's like, no, I want to talk English. Why trimmest thy ways to seek love? Get the point? Because he's Christian. Right? You black, you considered African American. You Chinese American. Muslims who come to America have to become Muslim American. Now in Europe, in the European empires, in England, in France, in Germany, because of the instability in the Middle East, they have a serious immigration problem right now. You get the point? They have an immigration problem where, you know, a lot of Muslims are coming over there. But those Muslims are not becoming British. They're staying Muslim, radical. You get the point? What's the difference is? Those Muslims they're not Christian. You understand? They are not Christian, so they do not assimilate into Britain. They stay separate and keep their culture, and every now and then ram a truck into somebody and cut somebody open and blow up some building. But America gives you Christianity, the mark of the beast, and you assimilate. What's going on in Trinidad now, brother, is full out Christianity. Because if this was anywhere else, you take Christianity out of Trinidad right now, the country would be up in flames over this last decision. You understand me? The country would be up in flames. Now, by no means am I saying go on riot. By no means am I saying go loot, go steal, go take the country by storm. I ain't saying that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the power we have. We have a power that's greater. Reject Christianity, go find Officer Galawa. Reject Christianity, go find the I.S.U.P.K. I'm going to show you how to really fight. I'm going to show you how to really set a fire and set a blaze. But Christianity is going to keep you ringing that OWTU bell. We shall overcome. Niggas listen, the roughest niggas had the best church voice when it comes to a strike. When it comes to OWTU march, brother, the nigga next to you, you know, bigger than me and Tazawa put together and darker than the darkest dark, brother, and he opened his mouth and belt out the old "We shall overcome" like if he's the choir leader, and you looking at him like, you know why? Because the Christian spirit in him, he wants to sing. That's what Christians do. That's what Christians do. You talking about my goddamn future and my check and taking money out my children's mouth, but yet still solidarity forever, and the whole thing turned into a damn Baptist revival because of Christianity. because of let the oil wells run dry.
Right.
Let them run dry. Let Trinidad turn into the entire Bethel. Let Trinidad turn into nuts overnight. Let everybody feel the pain of the people on the bottom for once. Let everybody feel it. And then the laws of Christ can be established and ruled. You get the point? Pray for the downfall of the white man's empire. I don't care what your preacher says. I don't care what your pundit says. I don't care what your mother and your father and your sister and your brother say. Pray for the end of it all. Because then the kingdom of heaven will be established. Then Christ will rule. Let the whole country go broke. Let it go broke. Let them shut the thing down. Let everything horrible happen to them platforms. And then let the earthquake come again and flatten the banks so SAPGA them can't make no goddamn money. All the buildings fall on the cars. Let a big hole open up in Valsayn and suck down every heathen. Let the Lord fall on the country like waters. And we will build. And we will build up. And every man who follows these laws will eat and have a place to sleep and rule the earth when Christ comes back. Goddamn independence. You ain't independent from shit. You're about to give the whole oil field back to some French company. What's the name of the French company? Perry. What's the name of it?
Parenco.
Parenco. Oh, gay ass hole. You think I'm gonna wear a shirt named Parenco? Nah, nigga. I like my shields and my, my fringes and shit. That's a little bit more manly. Parenco. Yeah, where you working? Parenco. Yeah, you look like somebody. Somebody fully Parenco in your Renko. Get the point? You about to call the white man back to save you. If he give you independence, guess what he could do? He could take it back. Right. You want it to be free, all right? You want it to be free? Come, slave. Don't worry. All right. Massa, the wells, I don't know what to do. Come, slave. Don't worry. Don't worry. There was a Frenchman. Oh, bonjour. Bonjour. Comment tu t'appelles? Oh, oui, yeah. De la vie. Come on, slave. Don't worry. I got a nice little job here for you. Now, it's going to pay less. Why, massa? Well, I have to come in and save you. Without me, you wouldn't have a country. Well, that's true. Okay, I'll take less. Sucker. I got you. And now them same Christian Uncle Toms will be the ones who fighting you in an argument saying, when you say, listen, the white man could afford to pay us more, they're going to be like, man, how are you so stupid? You can't understand. They're spending their money to run this for us. So we had to take the loss. Nigga, this white man going to the moon. They have people with iPhones on the moon right now doing Snapchat. Don't tell me nothing more. He can't pay you more. You just worth less, so you accept it. Not me. Not me. I want rulership. I'm worth more than that shit. I don't care.
Right,
if the wells keep running, most high in Christ, your card go down there and get all the money they get. Overtime is yours. If the wells run, no problem. Stay home and study. Study so you could become sharp, so you could teach brothers and sisters how to rule. Goddamn independence. All right? I couldn't get to your questions tonight. We're going to get them next week, Lord willing. With that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Galawan.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. Get themselves out the world.
All right, stop there. Also, Akim, I want you all to be very, very vigilant with those rules, all right? Very vigilant with those rules. That's very serious. This ain't the Christian church. You'll see Aretha Franklin funeral, right? You'll see when the little heathen girl Ariana Grande come up there.
She get grabbed up.
You'll see how that priest, that pastor, Salak, he fully molested that girl on stage. Because he couldn't control his lust. And this is the heavy thing about it. There were other black women there he did not touch like that. Grown women. That singer, she has a history either in Nickelodeon or Disney. She's a famous child actor. And part of her marketability was her ability to look like a child. She's like 24 or something like that. Right? She's not no young girl. Right? But she could look like a 12-year-old. And she came up there and seduced every old Christian fart sitting down on that stage. Until one could not help himself. And the whole world saw how he had to satisfy his desire. And what's even more disgusting is she did not pull away. She was uncomfortable, but she done took it. You know why? Go ahead, sis. Let me hear you.
She also sang a song titled If God Was a Woman.
If God was a woman, you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because growing up in them networks, they get molested. This is not the first time she's been compromised like that. Because she reacted like a classic victim. Oh, shit, what's going on here? Looking for somebody to save her, and nobody did, because that's what happens in the Christian church. The Israelite school of UPK is not the Christian church. This is a you put your lust in check. You could have lust for your woman, but some other sister, you better check yourself. Those rules are golden now. And for some of them sisters, you stay out them brothers' inbox too. You know how aggressive them sisters get? That 6-month rule is in place. She is to be saluted only. If she says, hey, brother, how you doing? Shalom, sis, Yashimata, Bashim Yashai. Hey, brother, I ain't see you in class today. Shalom, sis, Yashimata, Bashim Yashai. Say that until she get the point. She might be a little slow. You understand? She might be a little slow. Sis, the same way if a brother come at you. You might be a little slow, but it's going to save you. You know why? Because you are going to get fined. If I hear any one of you all talk, doing this, if this ever comes back across my desk, one of these brothers here, or anybody listening, brothers or sisters, you're breaking the 6-month rule, I'm going to ask that the fine be doubled. And in US, Salakia, for those of you all in foreign territory, you'll think you're going to pay the Trinidadian price, you're going to pay the US price. All right, go by NBC or what is this? Unit Trust and take a loan. You're going to get fined. Leave them women alone. Let them shed the self of the world. Let them drop their worldly ways. They don't need your attention. They definitely don't need you to tell them they're nice. Look at their friends list and their likes. They post one selfie and it's 500 likes. What the hell you think you're going to do? Where you fit in that? Focus on becoming a solid officer and give her a chance to shed herself of them whole tendencies. You get the point? First and last warning, all right? Go ahead, Gallo.
Oh, God. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to brother or a sister.
All right? You must get permission to even speak. That's how strict it is in here. You get the point? You must get permission to even speak to them. Don't just be like, yeah, she finished her 6 months. Hey, Shalom says, how you doing? I'm going to fine you. I'm going to make sure you pay. And she's going to pay as well for being stupid enough to answer. You see somebody you like? Call your camp leader. Hey, Salaki, sir, there's a bad broad somewhere over there in the UK. Yes, sir. God, yes, her. I would like permission. I want to know what's the situation. I'd like permission to court her. Says, as Salaki, sir, I see a brother there. He's strong and he's from DC and he got a Trinidadian accent. I believe his name is Captain Mashak. Yes, no problem. I'm just letting you know how to say it in the point. You know how problem. But you have to ask permission. You can't approach that person directly. All right? This ain't the Christian church. You're not going to bring that filthy stain in here. All right? Either you're going to get right or get out. All right. Keep going now.
Okay. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry.
Right. Now listen, if you are hoe, this is not the school for you. If you're a brother that like hoes, you're in the wrong place. Because you have 6 months to court. Anybody know what courting means? Anybody understands? Anybody figures out what does courting mean? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I don't want to say, but it's equivalent to dating, sir.
Dating meaning what?
But without sex.
Without sex. Okay, I'll give you right. You just about closely right. I'll give you one more. Without any contact. You initially allowed to speak. You can't touch the broad. Can't hold her hand. Can't give her a hug. I get permission to do that. So like it's, things is going real good. Is it okay if I kiss her? I don't know, brother. If you put your mouth on her, you're going to have to marry her. And you know she comes with a price, a dowry. Oh, shit. I have to pay for her? Some brothers, as soon as they hear, they have to pay. They don't want the What do you think? You think counseling all these crazy ass was slacking? You think counseling all these sisters who have problems and brothers who have problems, you think you're going to get that tail free? Or you're with his head wrap and the shield and the fringes and the skirts and you all think, yeah, boy, I can't wait. I'm going to get that sister. Yeah, man. Nigga, you're going to pay for her. She's a daughter. She's one of our daughters, one of our sisters. You are going to pay her father the trouble he went through to raise her right. You get the point? You like her, no problem. Come on, come with the stacks. You're going to pay. You know why? Because she's valuable to us. You ain't just going to get her for free. If you pay for her, you're more liable to do right. You ain't going to waste your money. All right? Some brothers, as soon as they hear you have to pay, oh shit, so I ain't think I'm ready for this. Yeah, the courting ain't going too right. No problem. I understand. I get you. It ain't working right. Find another sister. No problem. All right? This is a very serious thing, Akim. Just obey the rules. That's what I'm telling you. Don't, listen, now, there's great power in becoming an officer in the Israelite school at UPK. I'm trying to tell you. It's worth the wait. They'll come to you. What the hell you worried about? Chasing you in every inbox 2 o'clock in the morning. A Shalom princess, beautiful brown skin Israelite. For what? When she could come to you? God damn. I'll wait. Y'all go ahead. I'll save my fine money for the dowry. Keep reading.
Okay. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny, of every increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher.
Go ahead.
Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Right? Upcoming holy convocation, blowing of trumpets, which is Monday, the 10th of September. You can find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Akim and Aquathium. To check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. Right? If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf. Right?
All right, let's
go
through everything, all right?
I
say we're going to go through everything, all right? Let's go.
Shalom. Alright, that's right. Face the east. Alright, you're gonna say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Habanawa.
Habanawa.
Shabashemaya.
Shabashemaya.
Badash.
Badash.
Yeah.
Ayah. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Alakwaka.
Alakwaka.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
I.S.U.P.K.
Aratasa.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Aya.
Aya.
Shemaya.
Ashemayam.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa. Lakam.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawa.
Yawa.
Wasalak Lanawa.
Wasalak Nawa.
Kawabwak Nawa.
Kawabwak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kasalak Nawa.
Kawabwak Yanawa.
Kawabwak Yanawa.
Wala.
Wala.
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa.
Banasanawan.
Banasayawan.
Habal.
Abal.
Hawashainawa.
Hawashainawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwat.
Hamalakwat.
Wala.
Wala.
Pasa. La ai walamyan.
La ai walamyan.
Amen.
Amen.
Our Father,
Our
Father,
which art in heaven,
which art
in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
thy
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done
Thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as
and
we
we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but
But
deliver
deliver
us
us
from evil.
from
from
evil.
evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For
Thine is the kingdom
and the power,
and the power
and the glory,
and the glory
forever.
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 So be it.
So be
So
it.
be it.
We're going to say the power prayer in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Babakusha.
Babakusha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Hakak.
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 Larapa'a.
Larapa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakalia.
Wakal Madawa.
Kalmakalia.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lataha.
Lataha.
Hamatazarayam.
Hamatazarayam.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahakwayam.
Lahakwayam.
Hamasyam.
Amathim.
Hakak.
Al-Rahakwas.
Al-Rahakwas.
Hatamala.
Hatamala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Sawaraman.
Sawaraman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the
Name
name
of
of
Yahushai.
Please
Please
give us the power,
give us the power.
the power to heal
The power to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease.
the power to cleanse the lepers,
Power to cleanse the leper.
the power to raise the dead,
the
Power to raise the dead.
the power against unclean spirits,
the power against unclean
The power
spirits,
to cast them out
to cast them out.
in the name
Cast
of
them
Yahushua.
out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
I'm going to say down the blessings of the power prayer, Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Alahayam.
Wa Alahayam.
Matazabaya.
Matazabaya.
Al-Wak Yahanna.
Al-Wak Yahanna.
Al-Wak Yam.
Al-Wak Yam.
Asaranyam.
Asaranyam.
Ha-Patazayan Yam.
Patazayan Yam.
Ha-Ha Yal Yam.
Hakak Yam.
Wa-Ha-Hak Was Yam.
Wa Hakak Yam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim.
Bahashim.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Tawarama.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the
And the
angels.
angels.
Commanding General Yohanan.
Commanding
Commanding
General.
General Yohanan.
The generals.
The general.
Generals.
The captains.
The captain.
Captains.
The officers.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
The
Troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
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 In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of
Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Going to the prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send
And
evil
evil and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
and
Punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
And
death to the heathen.
That speak against us.
That
Speak
speak
against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy
Thy
prophets.
prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
The
Princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
Priests.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send
And evil and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
and
Punishment and destruction.
And death to the heathen.
and
Death to the heathen.
And shake loose
And
and shake
shake loose
the pockets of the rich of Israel.
the
pockets
pockets
of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
that
And refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
to
Enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
And evil and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
and
Punishment and destruction.
And death to the Edomites.
and death
Death to the Edomites.
And the nations.
and the nations
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
and their drug dealers,
The court system.
the court
And the
system,
court system.
The prison system.
the
Prison
prison
system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
all
the governments
of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogue.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
the
The
Pope,
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space programs.
That's a space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airways.
And the airwaves.
The cable access channels.
Cable access channels.
And the radio channels.
And the radio channels.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of
any of thy people
that seek to stop us
that seek to
that
stop
seek to
us
stop us
and bring swift death
and bring
and
swift
bring swift death
to all the heathen
to all the
to all the
heathen
heathen
that stand in the way
that stand
in the
in
way
or try to stop us
or
or
try
to stop us
from broadcasting your words
from
broadcasting your
words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout
to all the planet.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Let loose all the terrorists.
Cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the
Through
earth
the earth
and destroy
and destroy.
Cause the terrorists
Cause the terrorists
to come against America
to come against America
and destroy them in their strongholds.
and destroy them in their strongholds.
Let America shake
Let America shake
at the hands of the terrorists.
at the hands of the terrorists.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and down with the flying demons that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
All right, we're going to say a bless. You're going to say a bless Israel prayer. Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shai. Barak Lanawa. Yasharala. Mahabayat. Barak. Rapa. Hagan.
Tazawarya Allah. Ayash Kabawa. Yakazaka Allah.
Yakazaka.
Sister Kana.
Sister Kana.
Sister Kawana. Heidi and family. Alright. Claire.
Claire.
That's it. Go ahead.
Tashika. Diamond. All brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K. All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the I.S.U.P.K.
Gailey. Zayden. Andrew. Itisha. Philip family. Figaro family. All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K. Troopers. Captains.
All the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K. Kinte. Nikisha. Khalifa. Kadim. Akim. And Ezekiel. And Atiba. Janice. And Osil. And John family.
All the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K.
Risa.
Nicholas.
Nathan.
Commander General Yana. Generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. Sisters. Children. Busby family. John family. Figaro family. Officer Galwan family.
Brothers and sisters in the room and their families.
Good. Next man, Sharp.
Darius.
Commander General
Yana.
Officers. Troopers. All the generals. Brothers and sisters.
Commander General Yana.
Generals.
Troopers.
Brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K.
Zara. all the brothers and sisters,
all the brothers and sisters of the I.S.U.P.K,
all the families of Israel coming into the I.S.U.P.K,
all the families of Israel coming into the I.S.U.P.K, generals, captains, officers, troopers,
all Israel coming into the knowledge,
all Israel coming into the knowledge, and fighting to come into the I.S.U.P.K.
Commander General Yahanna,
Commander General Yahanna,
all the generals,
all the generals,
captains,
captains, officers and troopers, Card, Nicholas and Nick, John family, Francis family, Abraham family. Commander General Yahanna, General Captain Mashak, Supermarket, Louis, Zuri, Zara, Trevor Samuel. Yeah, that is it.
Finish the prayer, brother.
All right. Hashem Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
Tawaraman.
English.
Right. So okay, in English, what was said was, Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Okay. Time and pleasure, let's give the teacher one courtesy salute. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh
Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Brakathum.
Shah. Stand up to the sister. Second word. I'm going to give the sisters a one courtesy salute. Imagine Shabbat. Barak. Barak.
I'm Madiam.
Yeah. Yajamata.
All right, goodbye. Yabashim Shabbat. To
What's our question?
Lord Allah, see you next week, all right?
I don't want answer.
All right.
Yeah, about you, Mr. Brakata.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh